happy about that. Had a really heck of a game this past Saturday. First off, I want to thank Hammond America for showing up. A little disappointed in the number of people that were in the stands, but not disappointed in the noise that they were able to make. They just did a fantastic job. Players talked about it afterwards, how loud it was, how it impacted the game, the energy that they got from the crowd, and I thought that's what we've been looking. We're looking for home field advantage, and I think it helped. There was a lot of momentum swings in that game, and our crowd stayed in it the whole time and kind of pushed us through at the finish line. So it was pretty cool. I thought we had some great efforts the other night. We played a really good football team. Got to give Idaho all kind of credit. They're dealing with so much on their campus right now with their student body and everything else, and for them to come down here and a long trip and do that, and the way they played and everything else is really a tribute to the coaching staff. We talked about how sound they were. I thought they were well coached, and I think that played out exactly like we thought. From that standpoint, they didn't make mistakes during the course of the game. But from a coaching standpoint, but the game I thought was decided because of the turnovers. We got we're +3 in the turnover margin. We had a pick six for a touchdown. We had an interception in the end zone. We had a fumble on the first play of the game after an explosive catch and run. And, so that was the difference in the game. We didn't turn it over. And I think that's what allowed us to be where we were at the end of the game. In a 3-point game, that's what's going to make a difference. Looking forward to this week against Samford. Again, once you get this far, man, everybody's good. So these guys are really good. They're so efficient on offense with the football. I think their quarterback is probably about 75% completion percentage this year, which is ridiculous. And he's only thrown 3 interceptions, and they're going to throw it all over the lot there. We were talking this morning as a staff how sure-handed all their guys are, the receivers, the running backs, everybody they throw to are just natural catchers. And, so when you watch him distribute the ball around, and he gets it to everybody, but when you watch him distribute the ball around, they do a good job catching it, and then run after catch is really critical. We're going to have to do a great job tackling. We're going to have to really rally and tackle on defense. And then them on defense, they're an odd front team. They're big up front, physical, tough to run the football against. Their backers are downhill, flowing. They really attack, and from a personnel standpoint, east to west, I think they do a really good job. So quite a challenge for us. We'll be on the road in Birmingham, and it'll be a 2:00 game. And but we're looking forward to it. There's 16 teams left in the country right now, and there's 8 games being played on Saturday, and we're going to be in one of them, and that's pretty good. That's where we want to be. But it's time. We got to get to this point. We've been here 3 times. This will be the 3rd time, and we got to figure out a way to get through this game. And so it's quite a chore. It's a challenge for our guys, and one I hope we're going to embrace this week during the course of practice to be able to do something up in Birmingham. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Coach, when you get a win like you did on Saturday, does it give you a little bit more momentum? Does it mean a little bit more the way how emotionally charged it was going down to the very end like that? Does it give you that much more momentum going up against the Samford team?
I guess, Matt, we did that against that emotionally charged atmosphere against UIW, and we lost the next week. So I guess it could work both ways. So I think when you look at that game the other night, I thought that was a game of runs. We talk about it in football, in basketball, a game of runs, but that's what it was. They up 10, we're up 10. It went back and forth, and it was big plays. We had the pick 6 for a touchdown. They had the kickoff return for a touchdown. We had the interception that gets called back on a poor call by the official, and then they turn around and throw a post route for a touchdown. So there was just so much. There was 42 points scored in the 4th quarter alone, and so it was. Emotionally, yes, it was a roller coaster ride, but I thought our guys have been doing it all year long, overcoming adversity when things happen against them. So how it's going to impact this game, I hope it doesn't impact it at all. I hope that we go through the week of practice in a methodical way like we normally do, and go play on Saturday.
What you mentioned that UIW game and then the week after following the loss. What do you tell your kids this week to make sure that doesn't happen and give that emotional residue? If you had any left, you don't want to drain yourself totally from this game so that you don't have anything left against Samford.
Yeah, it's the same thing every week, whether we win or we lose. We start off on Monday, and we have a routine that we go through, and there's a process in that routine, and we trust that whole thing during the course of the week, from a preparation standpoint, allows us to do what we want to do on Saturday, and that's it's not gonna change. And the mindset, it's all about the mindset now. The physicality part, everybody's injured right now. Every team you play is gonna have guys out, just like us. The other teams do. We just don't know about them until we get to the game. And nobody's 100% at this time of the year. So it's prepare this week and go play on Saturday.
Injury-wise, who do you think will be out Saturday? Do you know now?
I don't know now, no. So a lot of the guys, we're gonna bring some guys with us, and if they're able to play, they'll play, and if they can't, they can't. You know, but we'll run them on. We'll see what they do on this week during the course of the week in practice, and then find out on Saturday.
You look at this game compared to the other ones. When you look at the Stanford team, do they remind you guys a little bit of how y'all played last year with the last couple of years with Cole? Just really high percentage passes, a quarterback that can just make the offense go. Do y'all see some similarities in that from the last?
I think the similarities are more UIW, more of a short passing game, methodical short passing game, and then take some shots over the top. I thought we're probably more down the field than other teams are when we had Cole, and these guys are more. There's a lot more underneath stuff that they run. You're looking at a guy. Their coach is kind of like a Hal Mummy disciple from that standpoint. So if you look at the routes, the concepts, and things like that, you can see a lot of similarities in those two offenses.
Does the short passing game neutralize your front seven's ability to get pressure on the quarterback?
Absolutely, and that's why it's done. You know, the ball gets out quick, but that's why I said we have to be good tacklers this week. They're gonna get completions, that's what they do. I mean, when you look at 75, 76% completion percentage, they're gonna get the completions, we gotta rally and tackle. You know, we gotta be physical on our tackling, but we gotta rally and tackle, try to punch some things out. They don't turn the ball over, they're very good at that. And that's what you expect out of teams this time of the year that are still in this thing. You know, I think we're plus 11 in the turnover ratio. So when you look at that, the teams just don't turn the football over and expect to win, and these guys don't turn it over either.
When you look at your team and kind of, I mean, it seems like y'all are taking this mantra of physically running the football. How important is that in these playoff situations where you want to control the time of possession like y'all been able to do against UIW and last week as well against Idaho?
Yeah, I think, Robbie, that the time of possession isn't as important as the ability to pick up first downs and stay on the field. You know, when you give how fast you score, I don't care, just score, right? Well, if we're able to get first downs and we continue drives, it keeps our defense off the field, but it keeps our offense off of the field. Idaho, had the ability to score at any time. Their quarterback did an outstanding job against us the other night, and this quarterback will do the same. So we got to be able to convert third downs, whether it's and get points. So whether it's we score in one play, or we score in 15 plays, it doesn't matter.
Can you just not just for this weekend, but the entire season in general? I think we haven't. It's been understated how good Austin Dunlap has been at punting the football and flipping the field. Could you just, especially in the playoffs where field position is so critical, like could you just talk about the season that he's had and kind of the unsung hero of sorts?
He's had an All-American season for us, Matt. I'm telling you, man. You look across the country and watch what he's done, dropping the ball inside the 5 and 10 yard line. I mean, we down one on the 3 the other night. Just dropped it. And he has the ability. It's like with a golf shot. You can just stick it, right? And he has the ability to do that at times. And when he hit the other night, it was just like that. He shanked one at the end of the game. That's the first one he's had. The bad punt he's had all year long. But he's just been outstanding. And I really do. I believe he's an All-American candidate at the punter position. And I'm just so glad he's ours.
You've been playing these two quarterbacks, Cephas and Eli, all year. How vital has it been for them and their success that y'all been so balanced?
Well, I think both of those guys have different skill sets, right? And so to be able to utilize those skill sets is what you want to do to take advantage of what the defense is giving you. And it forces defenses to, with both of them playing again this week, it'll force the defense to have to do certain things against each one of them because they all both different. And I think that presents a problem in your preparation during the course of the week if you're on the other team. So, I'm happy both of them are on our team.
Y'all set a number going into the week about how, y'all want to be kind of at 48 rushing attempts a game?
No,
45 to 50, is that too many for y'all, or?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I tell you what, throw it and run it, whatever we need to do to win the game. So, if running the ball that many times allows us to win, good. If throwing the ball that many times allows us to win, I'm good with that too. So, There's no set number that we're gonna do it with.
What's the scouting report for Sanford defense?
Odd front, big up front. They really got 3 defensive tackles. They call them defensive ends, but they got a nose and 2 tackles. They're big. So you're gonna see. We're gonna struggle to move them. Their linebackers are downhill guys. They play with 3 linebackers and a jack, probably is what they would call it. And they really run to the football. So they're big inside. People struggle running the football against them. Their safeties attack the box, very physical from that standpoint, and they put the corners on an island. So we've got to be able to take advantage of that when we can, but they do a good job out there. Not a big pressure team, at least haven't shown a lot of it this year. So that it's not, we're not expecting a bunch of pressure to come at us because we don't see a lot of pressure against us anyway.
Corners on an island, do you like that matchup with really any of your receivers?
Well, you do. You got to pick and choose, right, when you're going to do it. When they're playing off press, things like that. But I think what they'd like to do is to stop the run, put you in long yardage situations, and in case take you out of something that's really comfortable. So I think you got to pick and choose is when you can go attack those guys.
With the injuries at wide receiver, can you just talk about the big catches Darius Lewis had this weekend? It seemed like they were kind of like really at the most important times in the second half, it seemed like.
Yeah, Darius is he's a great contributor for us, right? Not only to receiver position, but returning punts. He's sure-handed, does a good job, really smart. We can move him around. He's really multiple from that standpoint. So he's a good addition for us this year.
Talk about Goodley and what he's meant for you guys. Seems like he's really just playing better as the year goes on.
Yeah, he really has. He's a true freshman that kind of got lost in camp. Got swamped, and he's grown out of it, matured. He's playing more physical. Led the team in tackles this week. Forced a fumble. I don't know. He's a guy that we were happy to get when we signed him this past February, but we're so happy now that he's here with us. Just the progress he's made throughout the course of the season really been awesome to see.
Is there anything like when you look at these games, you said you want to get past this round, is there anything you're self-scouting a little bit about what we can do differently, considering we've been here twice and we haven't been able to advance during this week, of how you can approach it differently maybe?
Not during the course of a week of practice. Just don't turn it over so many times in the damn game. We turned it over so many times against Montana and again against James Madison last year. It takes, and here comes the deluge of points, and now we're out of it. So we got to take care of the football. I mean, these are good teams, and you can't make mistakes against them. And if you do, they're going to take advantage of it, and that's what happens. It happened in those 2 games, and if we do it again this week, the same thing will happen. We're going to run out the stadium.
Y'all good?
I think so.
Thank you. Appreciate it.